And welcome to the Kenny and JT show here on News Talk 1480 WHBC. And we are thrilled to have with us once again from the Ohio State University and the Jackson High School, former Polar Bear, current Buckeye, Kyle Young joining us today. Kyle, thanks for making time for us again. How you feeling, my friend?
Of course, I'm feeling good. How about you?
Hey, we're good. Happy to have you back again. We're sad to see how the season ended for the Buckeyes as well as for you. So we want to go back to that, Kyle, and take us through. I've never had a concussion, okay? And we know how serious they are. You know, of course, in football, we hear more about it, but they happen in basketball, and they happen to you. So take us back to what you went through and why you weren't able to play in that tournament game because the serious nature of the concussion you suffered.
Yeah, so after I got hit in that second half, I hadn't felt anything initially. So I really wasn't sure. I just thought, it was just a tough hit to the head, and then I was gonna be good. And then after I ended up sitting down, in the huddle, that's when kind of everything started coming on. And so for the concussion, the symptoms can be a lot of different things. And for me, it was just I started to notice the sensitivity to noise and light. There's a dizziness involved, and you just don't feel right. It's overall you just don't feel good. So my symptoms kind of got bad there for a short amount of time, and by the time they were able to start coming down, and I really wasn't feeling much. There's still stuff you have to go through with concussion protocol and stuff to get back to return to play. So I just hadn't been feeling like myself and didn't feel right. So I couldn't even, do some of the smaller things that would have needed to be done in order to play. So that was the reason, I still had to sit out, and I don't think I would have, physically been able to either.
Are you finally back to normal? I mean, do you feel normal finally, or are there still lingering effects?
Yeah, no, I'm pretty much back to normal now. Yeah, I feel good. I feel like myself again. So that's a good sign.
Kyle, as a fan, I want to take this opportunity and thank you guys for a great run. I mean, the Big Ten tournament was phenomenal. A lot of us didn't expect it to go that well, even though we didn't win the whole thing. Mm-hmm. In order to get to the final game was just amazing for us. Yeah. But I want to ask you about the style of play that the Buckeyes and the Big Ten plays in general. Mm-hmm. Does it match up with what you saw in the tournament? Is it a little bit of a different game? Seems to be more point guard driven, more run and gun style than it is the roughness that is the Big Ten basketball.
Yeah, like you said, the roughness of Big Ten basketball, a way I always describe, the Big Ten is just talking about the physicality and, the toughness that it brings. And I think that's something that can be said, that everyone will talk about with the Big Ten. So just seeing the difference, it was hard because I still had to watch the game, that tournament game, on the TV in the locker room. So I couldn't see it up close and personal of really the difference. But, the Big Ten just, in my opinion, definitely brings a different level of physicality. And, I feel like even at times the refs let us play more and not as much stuff is called. So I don't know. You could say the difference, in the tournament game could be more fast paced, getting more shots up, things like that. And then, compared to the Big Ten tournament, it was more physical, more post game and, slowing things down a little bit.
Kyle Young is our guest here on the Kenny and JT show from Ohio State. And Kyle, the other thing that was so painful for us, and I'm sure for you, when you went down with the second concussion, you were playing some of your best basketball at Ohio State. How frustrating was it to not be able to be out there with your teammates? No, and I think a lot of us felt this. If you're out there, you win a couple of those games, you might be Big Ten champs and advance in the tournament. How tough was that for you dealing with the concussion and those emotions?
Yeah, it was frustrating, because I was feeling really good playing. Like you said, it felt like I was playing, some of the best basketball in my life. So it was frustrating, but it wasn't more in the sense that, I was frustrated that I wasn't able to, be out there and perform for myself. It was just more frustration that, I wasn't able to be competing with my team and, go through those things with them. So that was probably the biggest thing for me. I never had any doubt, that they could have went and, won it all without me. But it was just more of, wanting to be a part of it with them and compete with them.
All right. So, JT, let me get this in real quick. So the way that season ends for you, how much did that affect your decision? Because you had the option. The last time me, JT talked, you weren't sure what you were going to do. How much did the way the season end affect your decision to come back for that extra year at Ohio State?
Yeah, it definitely, factored in. I wouldn't say it was the main reason, but it was something I thought about because, you think about it, like I wasn't able to, end my Ohio State career on a note where I was playing. It was more of me watching. So I definitely had thought about that, but, there was a lot of things that, influenced my decision to come back. And, it's just how much, I love this place, how much I love my teammates, my coaches, and then, how close I am to my family and being able to play in front of my family for another year, close to my hometown. So, there was a lot of cons to, or a lot of pros to coming back, and few cons. So, once I came down to it and made the decision, I'm pretty happy with what I chose to do.
Kyle, so what happens now? The basketball season's over. Kenny tells me you're going for your master's degree. When do classes happen? When do you practice? Does the team practice together? What happens in the off season?
Yeah, so right now I'm just finishing up, this semester, and I'm actually almost done with my master's. That should be wrapped up here, like either the end of the summer or early fall. And, we still do stuff with the team. It's just like smaller workouts, individual workouts, stuff in the weight room. And then, anytime we need to get in the training room as well. But there's no really full team practices right now until we get back for, summer workouts, which will be, after we get a little break. But right now I'm just focusing on, finishing up school, and we got finals coming up here soon.
So you're almost done with your master's. PhD, is that net? We going to call you Dr. Kyle Young by the time you're done there playing at OSU or what?
No, I don't know yet. I got to figure out. There's been a lot of school. I got to figure out what I'm going to do for this next year.
How excited are you not only coming back, okay? We're waiting to see what's up with Dwayne Washington. He's thrown his name into the hopper, possibly going into the NBA draft, but he might come back. Also, a nice recruiting class coming in, right? And you get a transfer from Indiana in Joey Brunk, an actual center that will take minutes away from you having to go with those big 7-footers down there in the low post.
Yeah, no, I mean, we're excited, with the guys we're bringing in. I just talked to Jamari for the first time here recently. Seems like a super good dude. He's excited to get on campus. And I also knew Joey previously from his time when he was at Butler. So I had already developed a relationship with him there. And so it was nice to hear that he was coming and, congratulated him, talked with him a little bit. And, so I'm excited about those guys, getting over here. And then, whatever Dwayne and, EJ decide to do, I'm going to be, 100% supportive of them. There's nothing I'm really doing to persuade them one way or the other with their decision. So I'm going to be happy, with whatever they choose to do. But, I mean, if they come back, I'm going to be excited.
Kyle, between the transfer portal and being able to come back because of the pandemic, how do you think that affects recruiting at the Ohio State University?
I don't know. I mean, the transfer portal is crazy right now. There's been a lot of people. I mean, the numbers I think have already gone past what they were last year, and it's still pretty early. So I don't know. I think it adds a different element just to the whole recruiting game, because guys are going to be staying in college that normally wouldn't have been here. So it's going to add more guys on the roster. But I definitely think it changes some dynamic to the recruiting.
Does it weigh in on everyone's mind that, maybe my minutes are down a little bit, I'm transferring? Does that ever cross the players' minds on a regular basis?
I could see that's a reason that a lot of guys are leaving. They're just maybe not getting the opportunities they want, or they're playing behind somebody. I could see all those being reasons, but there's a lot of people in the portal right now, so that makes it tough, for schools to, find guys and evaluate. But, I'm not sure. That's nothing I would ever thought about.
Kyle Young, our guest here on the Kenny and JT show on News Talk 1480 WHBC. And KY, your game expanded this year. We're watching you step out and not just shoot the basketball, shoot it with confidence. I was texting back with Coach Peden a few times after game. You nail, I don't know how many you hit in the one game, 3, 4, 5, whatever it was. He was happy for you. I'm happy for you. Take me through how that part of your game has gotten better, and how will you try and make it even better this offseason?
Yeah, so that's definitely an area, I'm going to continue to focus on developing, is just the skill side of things. So last summer and, this whole past year, it's just been a buildup of, consistent work and reps, of doing the same thing over and over again. And that helps you build your confidence by doing that. I've always prided myself on my hard work. It's never been the case of, that I haven't worked hard, but that's just something, I focused in the off season and really told myself I wanted to add to my game. Because I knew, that I had it. I just had to, apply it. So, it's definitely an area, I want to continue to grow on in this off season. Just my offensive game, continue to work on, whether that's, with ball handling, being able to take people off the dribble, my low post game, as well as being able to shoot more too. So
Kenny and I watch these games and we're amazed because it pretty much emulates what you see at the NBA level. And if you're going to compete, if you're going to go to the next level, whether it's here or overseas, you're going to have to develop that part of the game.
Yeah.
I want to take you back into the Big Ten, and leaving the gym this morning, I couldn't help to think, but what is it like going up against Coburn from Illinois and a Luka Garza these guys are beasts. What's it like in the post going up against those guys on a nightly basis?
Yeah, like you said, they're big dudes and they're strong. Great players, but when you have a size disadvantage like that, it's tough because it wears on your body. But it's something I don't mind doing. I'm going to go out there and, compete regardless. But, it's definitely tough when someone outweighs you by a lot and you're kind of like the focus of guarding them. So bringing in, some bigger guys and stuff this year will definitely help with that. But it's tough. Like I was talking about the physicality of the Big Ten, and that's the reason because, I'm used to going against, the 4s and the 5s that are, 6'11", 7 foot, 250, 260, whatever it is. So it's not that I don't mind doing it. I'll go out there and compete, every night, but it's definitely tough.
Is there the thought of putting more weight, more muscle on this offseason, or are you good where you're at because of how well you played this year and you just want to hone the skills a little bit more?
I'll definitely continue to, train in the weight room, get stronger. And that's just something that, I enjoy to do in my own time. And it helps me get away too, is just being able to get in the weight room and lift. So I'll continue to work on that, but there's no specific goal for me. Like, I want to put on this much weight or whatever it may be. Cause my focus is going to be pretty much, just staying healthy, staying in shape and continuing to grow and develop my skill. So, that I can even expand my offensive game and my defensive game next year.
Anything else, JT, before we let this guy go? I could say a lot of different things. But my eyesight is hard. There was a little bit of bling coming off of that right ear, and I'm having a hard time seeing right now.
Okay, all right. He's jewelry. He's supporting it. Hey, Kyle, we're happy you're coming back. We were all hoping you would because it's fun for us to have seen a kid play in high school.
All-Star County.
Yeah, everybody, we talk about it all the time on our radio show Monday through Friday on 1480 WHBC. We get reactions on Twitter whenever we have you on and that. It blows up and everything. So we're thrilled you're coming back for another year. Excited to see you and the Buckeyes hopefully get to a Final Four next year and end it the right way for you at Ohio State.
I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Thank you guys for having me on today.
Best of luck. Stay healthy, brother.
Absolutely. There he is. Kyle Young checking in with us today here on the Kenny and JT show. Back with more right after this. Thanks, Kyle. Be well, my friend.
Yes, sir. Of course. I'll talk to you guys.
All right. See you.
Yep.